Hello, everyone, and welcome to another pre-match show here for ASTVs. We have Liverpool taking on Brighton today in the League Cup fourth round. Going to be a crazy one, I think, with the lineups we have and the way we're set up to take on Brighton. So I'm joined today with Gordo and Sir Z. We'll start with you, Gordo. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I can't complain. It's beautiful weather, a little bit windy out here, but it's a good day to stay inside and watch a game.
Sir Z, how are we on the West Coast?
Good, Gary. Thanks. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I mean, it is going to be an interesting one, I think. And I think that's kind of what we would probably think to ourselves is the craziest part of this match is that we are going to have to rotate some players every once in a while. And I think we haven't seen that a lot in the last few years. So, Gordo, I'll start with you. Before we show the crowd the lineup today, what was your initial response? What was your initial reaction when it came to the lineup and how they came out with it?
Well, you and I were talking before we jumped on, and it just kind of a little bit of a personal fist bump because I was on the Wednesday morning, and I was like, I really hope that we completely shake the lineup up, but I don't trust it because we haven't seen this from Slot. So I was happy when I saw the lineup because I'd rather the 3 points of the weekend, and because we're playing the same team, you always worry that you show your hand in a competition that you don't necessarily care too much about. Like if I was going to choose one or the other, it's definitely the league. And so you don't want to show your hand too early, and I think this is the perfect way to do it.
Sir Z, how about you? What were your initial response to the lineup? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I would definitely glad for rotation. It'll be interesting to see who plays up front with Diaz and Gakpo. I'm assuming Saboza is taking Salah's role on the right, and Gravenberch isn't even on the bench, so hopefully he's not injured. But other than that, it was, I think I listened to you guys in the morning. I think it was pretty much spot on with all the players that we kind of picked. I was kind of surprised that Morton was picked. I didn't think he would be picked. But other than that, no, it's how we wanted, I guess.
Yeah, I give the manager credit. He spoke about Morton specifically in the pre-match press conference. When you talk about a player who hasn't been talked about since you tried to sell him 3 times in the summer, normally it's because he's gonna play. And I think it's a smart spot for the manager. I think it's a good area for him. I think it's the type of team he can play against and probably do a job against. So I think it's a good move. He's played well for the under 21s. I think the biggest thing with this lineup is that he ran Robertson right back out there, which makes me think it's almost like a statement to him, like you need to run right back out there. And by the way, don't be shocked when I start Simicast on the weekend against Brighton in the league, because the kid's fighting you for his spot because he played well in his 30-plus minutes, and you have to give people credit when they do a good job. So this is a really interesting lineup. So, Sir Z, you brought this up this morning, so I want to know your opinion first. Jarus gets the start. You excited for this young man's Liverpool debut? Because he played really well in the moment he got.
Yeah. I thought it came in well against Palace. I'm excited. Well, I'm happy because just knowing our injury record, and it's not, Kelleher didn't play that day against Palace because he was sick. So these things happen. So we need to, I'm curious. Probably he's a number 1 keeper in my opinion, a number 1 Premier League keeper definitely, and we're just lucky enough to have him as a number 2. So who knows what's going to happen in the future? We let Alisson go, and it looks like Kelleher might go. That Jarus needs to step up. And these are the kind of games that he needs to come in and take advantage of Kelleher being promoted while Ali's out. So I'm excited for him. Want to see him. I haven't seen that much of him apart from the Palace game, and what he did in the Palace game was impressive.
Speaking of impressive, we'll bring in Kazi. I don't know if it's impressive or not, but it's something.
I'll take it.
Today's lineup, my man.
Yeah, I hate it.
You hate it?
Yeah.
Talk to me about why you hate it for first and foremost. You got Jones back in there. I thought you were going to like that.
I actually reckon I'd love to have a sit down with the manager now and go, do you regret selling all these kids? Because you could really do with resting some of these lads, including Dominic Szoboszlai, who you didn't start against Arsenal away, but now you think he's right to work against Brighton away in a game that I would really like Liverpool to lose. And then you've started Andy Robertson, who looks like he needs a break, and you've run the legs off him, and now you're going to run the legs off him in a game that I really like Liverpool to lose. So, yeah, I'd love again, but again, he has to learn. He's going to learn on the job. He's new to this. He likes a smaller squad clearly, but I really would love to say you'd love Bobby Clark today, wouldn't you? You'd love a bit of Lewis Kumas, wouldn't you? Just to do 20 minutes for you. Like I really think he'd say yes. Like, and I've kind of not made a mistake because he's kind of learning as he goes and it still might work. But yeah, not a fan of it at all. But I would like more changes if possible.
Gordo, to you on the more changes, what are your overall stance? I heard you on the morning show. You didn't expect as many changes. Now we have them. What should be the response? What is the response?
Well, you always get it's two-folded always. You get the one of these guys, a lot of them are going to get their shot to show the manager that they're going to go out there, so they're going to play hard, even though you've kind of taken a step down. You're playing your B, maybe BC team right now. But those guys are going to give you a good show, or at least, their best effort, because they want to prove that they should be in the match day squads. So there's always a boost there. And then obviously resting key players. I think the players that we did decide to rest, there's maybe I agree with the Robertson one. He definitely looked like he needed a break. He was pretty gassed against Arsenal. So throwing him right back out there tells me that he's probably not first choice anymore. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But I do think that because we're playing the same team at the weekend, you definitely have to rotate the squad.
It's just mad to me. It really is maddening, honestly. But I also understand, again, I keep thinking about it in my head, that the manager's going to make mistakes. He's new to this. It's his first ever Premier League season. Wait till he fucking finds out about Christmas, by the way. Because I remember fucking knocked Jurgen Klopp for fucking 3 years. His head fell off. So wait till he finds out about Christmas. And I just do think that it would have been really nice. If Jayden Downs was fully fit, I think he starts. Do you know what I mean? I think he would have, because of the Jota injury and really getting... I think he's going to look at Cody Gakpo and go, you have to do 90 here. And you might play 7 different places all over the pitch just to do 90 for me. Because, again, he's living a reality here for his first time. That, I didn't need these lads. And let's get it right. We all agree that Bobby Clark's talented and Kumas has a bit of potential about him as well. As finishing the League Cup last year was sensational. And, he's let them go and that's fine, no problem. But now you're living with the consequences of what can happen. And... in a horrible way, I don't hope that Liverpool lose, but I'm not going to fucking cry if Liverpool do lose this football match.
Yeah, I won't lie. I'm one of those people that thought to myself, if they lose this match, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's 3 less matches you have to play between now and the end of January, should you get to the final. And those are midweek matches when you already have midweek fixtures piling up. So I think it's...
The second leg of the semi-final, sorry, Gally, is in the middle of February, It's a fucking month space between the fucking first semi-final and the second semi-final. Fucking hell, they could go and sign 3 players and they never play a completely different team in the second leg, you know what I mean? But also, it's not just that, fella. I keep looking at it. I want the Bills to win every single trophy in the world. And I think it makes me sick thinking I want to give up on a trophy. But there's also a part of this, mate, where you look and go, the other teams that are playing, they're all Premier League sides that are left. I think it's only Preston. When they're playing Arsenal. Yeah. I know that they're all Premier League. Can you be asked going to Newcastle in the middle of fucking December, on the 18th of December, Newcastle away, when they haven't won a trophy in 50 years? Because I can't. I just can't be asked. You know what I mean? If you give me someone at home guaranteed, then yeah, I want Liverpool to win the game. But right now, can we be asked going down to fucking Brighton? Then letting them go and get 70% of the ball? It's just hard, isn't it? It's just tough to do in this middle of this crazy run. So,
if the favorites of this tournament move on today, with the 5 or 6 matches, and we are going to look at them hopefully right at the end here, all the matches. But if we talk about these matches, like it's literally the 6 or 7 top sides in the entire Premier League probably should move on. Like it's going to be Southampton and Southampton, Brentford, and who should be the big 6 in this league.
I would say so. That's fair. Yeah.
I mean, putting Villa over Spurs at this point. Sorry,
There's
Spurs
also,
fans.
let's put more context into that, though, kind of what you just said there. If you look at Villa, if I'm in Emery, I think it's just a great trophy to win. I thought, you know what I mean, to like really cement what you've just done there at Villa. If I look at Chelsea and Maresca and go, well, if I can get these kids with this big boss young side that I've got to win a first trophy, that's great. If I look at United and go, if we're going to fucking finish in the bottom half, I'd really like to add a bit of silverware if I'm fucking hammer on. You actually look and they go, we can target these trophies here. Like if you're just like 4 or 5, Newcastle haven't won a trophy in 50 years. They're not getting relegated. Like, you know, we could target this trophy. Spurs haven't won a trophy since 08 when they last won the League Cup. You actually look around and there's all context to all the other teams who are winning this trophy. And it actually comes down, like, within the quarterfinals, this has actually come to a point where this is our actual focus and priority is to win this trophy, where it could be Liverpool's second, third, and Arsenal's second and third, kind of thing.
Ryan says it's a great trophy for Slot to win as well, though. Trophy in his first season. Don't disagree, but isn't he competing for bigger trophies when he's at the top of the Champions League table? And he's also right near the top of the Premier League table. We haven't even started the FA Cup. I'm not disagreeing. So, Sir Z, what is your response to Ryan and maybe Kazi or myself, how we've responded to this Moose Cup that we've maybe made to be the Mickey Mouse behind you?
It's just a small trophy. You know, we didn't even have a parade for it last season. It's, you know, Rafa won the Champions League in his first season. That's who we were with Liverpool. The League Cup is, I understand this slot. I mean, if that's the only thing we won this season, then no, I wouldn't take it. It's just a shitty trophy. It's something that Man United fans get happy about, and everyone fans can only dream about. You know,
I appreciate you, Sir Z, but I'll take any trophy, just so we know. I'll take it any time. They hand out a winner's medal. I want
just to buff up our numbers, but you know, it's bigger games, league and Champions League. Those are only 2 things that matter. The other 2, they're just by the by. I mean, who knows if the League Cup's going to be around in 2 years' time? It's just it's a trophy that Everton would dream of winning. It's a trophy. For me, you find in a Kinder Egg, and there you go. Just, all right, you won it with kids, and that's it.
So, all right, let me follow on from that, what you just said there, right? Liverpool, the record holders of this trophy.
Yeah.
When we Liverpool were in the famous 70s and 80s, for a bit of history for our American fans here, we targeted this trophy to win it early doors because it was a trophy. Let's get that right. Last year felt like the fucking greatest day of my life. It was one of the best cup finals I've ever experienced, maybe because that was the circumstances we were in. But I'll tell you right now, mate, as soon... When Kepa blazed that fucking penalty over the bar was one of the greatest moments of my life. When Virgil van Dijk headed that ball in, it was one of the greatest moments of my life. So we can sit here and say to Mickey Mouse, Sophie and all that, is Liverpool's top priority? Absolutely not. Of course, Liverpool have the bigger fish to fry, and I agree with what you're saying. But I just think it's harsh, man. I do think, like, you know, the certain memories that those kids had at Wembley last year, which will take to their graves and tell their grandkids about when they're going around playing League 2 and League 1 football, when them kids go and find their level. But they fucking won a trophy at Wembley for Liverpool, and they've done something that we'll all die to do. But right now, is it the priority when you've got Brighton away and all the other teams left in it? Absolutely not. But also, if Liverpool do get through, and you do draw Southampton at home before you know you're in a semi-final, and then you want Liverpool to win it. But Liverpool are at a stage where you look and go, is it worth the hassle? Probably not. But I also agree with what you're saying. Omid is bigger fish to fry.
Gordo, what about you when it comes to this trophy, what it means to this? We just lost Cersei. Maybe he'll jump back in a second.
He's got Mickey Mouse internet, hasn't he? So
he got so excited he dropped out.
Yeah, no, this was a trophy last year when we won it pretty much in despair. That made, I think, everybody believe that we could definitely go for the all 4 of them, right? It's like we've got all these injuries. I don't think we're gonna get over the line. It's gonna be very difficult. And they ended up getting that first trophy. And there's something very important about winning silverware so early in the season that can kick the rest of the season off in the right spot, because you've hit a trophy and you can only go up from there, right? So like the worst you can do is win a trophy at that point in the end of January, February, or beginning of February, which is a very important place to be when you're trying to kick your season, or the second half of the season off, which we know is usually the toughest thing, especially when we've got this, I don't want to say light squad, but we sold a lot of people and didn't really replace them. So technically we got a light squad. It'd be really nice to win the trophy. Again, I don't think it's a priority, but I don't think that it's not important.
So let's talk about today's starting lineup. Let's talk about the defense to start. We got Jarus at keeper. Little surprise, not shocking. He mentioned him in the pre-match interview, made me think might happen. You have Bradley back starting, and then you have Kwanzaa, Gomez, and Robertson. Kazi, I'll start with you. As far as the back line goes, you comfortable with what we're seeing here, and does it make sense to you with what you talked about maybe this not being the most important thing, but also a time to get people minutes?
Listen, I would love Robertson to get a rest, but as Gordo said, though, it could be Costa starting on the weekend, which probably looks now likely. What I would say is, though, there's a part where you don't want Liverpool to get embarrassed. Let's get it right. We don't want to lose 4-0. And by the way, Brighton can do that to you. They can do that to anyone. So there is that. There's also a part of being competitive. There's also another part where the manager might look and go, well, there's no extra time. Just go straight to Ben's and have a bit of a laugh with it. You know what I mean? And you can get your big hitters on there. So Kwanzaa and Gomez are two lads who need minutes massively. And this is a tournament where you can keep Kwanzaa happy if you do get through. You can keep Gomez happy knowing that he's probably going to, maybe Robertson is the captain, but he would definitely be vice captain for this game. And then Bradley, who needs minutes. He definitely needs minutes. There's a chance for Endo to come into the midfield and show what he can do. Tyler Morton, another one. So I do see that, that part of it. But again, the defence is something that is probably the strongest part of the team, I would say. I think that's fair to say, because I think we're all under the agreement that Gakpo played down the middle, I think. Szoboszlai on the right. Are we on that agreement?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, same. So you probably look at it with, of course, we have more experience up front, but there's lads playing out of positions in terms of Gakpo and Szoboszlai. They're out of position of where they normally play. So I would say the defence is probably the strongest part of what we've got right now.
Gordo, any chance he shakes up the formation and plays with like two up top or something random? I don't think he does, because it doesn't speak to the type of manager he is. He slightly deviated against Arsenal, and I even thought that was a little surprising. Do you think it's his normal 4-2-3-1 and we're just playing Gakpo through the middle? He claimed all along Gakpo was playing down the left, and that's what he was. He didn't play through the middle anymore.
Yeah, I don't think not for this, right? Because you've played on Sunday, and then you've got almost no time to get like a new system across. Now they're obviously professional players, so you would expect them to be able to handle it. But if you are looking to win this game and advance, you're not switching up a totally different system. So I don't think we'll see that. However, when you look at the names, it might make sense to have four in the midfield and two up top. It's when you have Diaz, though, he plays so far wide. I just feel like Diaz would not be a good person to put anywhere near the middle, and it would actually, it would hinder his abilities, because what he's good at is he's got it. Basically, the touchline saves him defensively because he doesn't have to contest with that, and he can run up and down the field all day. And you give him that extra bit of space, and we see it all the time. You got a guy playing on a position, and it's almost like a different country that he's playing in. So I don't think we'll see too much of a rotation in terms of like the tactics.
The one thing I could see, though, gents, which I want to mention, which might surprise you, he might do Szoboszlai down the middle. And
I was wondering that myself, as almost like the false nine.
Yeah, like a false nine. Play Gakpo on the right or the left, and Diaz on the right or the left. The one thing, he did do Diaz on the right for 20 against Palace away.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He does Gakpo down the middle against Leipzig away for like 15-20 towards the end. He might do something like Szoboszlai down the middle and just do something mad and just go, we'll just counteract them with pace. I think that's his only way out if he wants to. Let's get it right. He's not setting up to the lads going, I don't care if we win the game or not. He wants to win the footy match. Yeah. But he might just look and go, let Brighton have the ball. And Szoboszlai is super quick. Gakpo's rapid and Diaz is rapid and we'll just kill him on the counter with pace. And maybe that's his way up. But I do feel like he might do Szoboszlai down the middle because he might want to give Gakpo his width and same with Diaz and keep the width. Maybe. I don't know.
I kind of feel like that makes the most sense for what Gakpo's done. As good as he's looked on the left, to move him into the middle, I feel like after he's told you he wants to play on the left, the manager said, I like him on the left. He gets a start. I feel like you give him his position. You know what I mean? And I think, Kazi, the more you say it, it makes sense. Zobo down the middle, it's also a way for them to kind of attack with a different way and even protect the midfield a little bit. Because if Szoboszlai has to drop back and do some defensive work, it helps out Morton and Jones, who we just witnessed Jones kind of get. If he's playing in that role, he got exposed. So, Sir Z, when you look at this bench, you have Nioni, you have Nunez, you have Mo, obviously Kanate, Van Dijk, Kelleher, the Tsimikas. Where do you see the changes being made if the manager feels he needs to on 55, 60 minutes? What is it that you think is the big change that allows us to win this game instead of maybe bowing out of defending this championship cup that we won last year?
I think Robertson, I don't think he plays a full 90. I think he's in just to shake off the cobwebs from the Arsenal game, and he brings them off early in the second half. I think he starts against Brighton on Saturday.
Really? Okay.
Maybe I'm overthinking, but I think so. I think it's just like, right, you had a bad game, just shake it off, go out there, get your confidence back, and I'm putting off like early second half. Tsimikas comes in. I'd love to see Naomi come on today. Just to and play behind the front two or whatever. So I'd love for him to come on. But yeah, we've got match winners on the bench. But so did Brighton. They've got Welbeck. Is it
Matoma?
Pedro's injury.
Matoma.
Yeah, Matoma. Yeah. So the both benches are pretty strong. I mean, obviously I was stronger. But I mean, I think we'll win this comfortably. And if we have to go for the bench, we will. But listen, I love winning. And and like what you guys are saying,
we all love winning. Nobody loves predicting a win like you. I mean, I want to be honest. No one shows more confidence and joy than Sergi. He's like, we're gonna win, and we're gonna win.
You should have seen me before Klopp, because it was just doom and gloom before Klopp.
Not one team has went to Brighton and won comfortably in years.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
let's go here, beat them 5-0.
Yeah. I think the 2-1 prediction that Tamusha made on the Monday Night Podcast, if you're going to get a win here, I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be 2-1. I wouldn't be shocked at all if this is a scored draw that leads to penalties, and hopefully we can win on that. But, Gordo, I'll go to you. What's your prediction?
I'll keep my morning prediction at 2-1, but I think this could be one that we just 1-1 penalties, win it on penalties.
So Z, give me your ridiculous 7-0. What do we got?
I think like us, I don't think Brighton are bothered if they go in or if they stay in or stay out, because I think they want to go to Europe places. So I think we win this 3-0.
Kazi.
Heart or head?
Heart. Go heart first.
Liverpool win. Head
What's the head?
The head say Liverpool lose. I think Liverpool lose. Yeah, I think Liverpool.
And I don't think that's an unfair. That's why I kind of said draw.
I just feel like, mate, if you're Brighton as well, again going back to the context of the other teams,
opportunity.
It's a great chance to win a trophy. You're at home. You're not in Europe this season. What else are you playing for midweek? You may as well go and try and win a fucking trophy and really cement this like unbelievable thing you've done in the last 10 years and winning one of the major four trophies. And I just feel like Liverpool will lose the game. Yeah.
I think what it ends up coming down to is that at the end of the game, both sides, to Kazi's point, are playing to win the match. And
Yeah.
I think we're able to put on Mo Salah, Nunez, and Simicast. And it's crazy to say that just to piss off Timuchin. But we're able to put those players on, and literally things happen bigger for our side than what they can do. And I
Yeah.
think because we have those type of players at the end of the match, I think we end up winning this match. What happens on Saturday because of this, I don't really know. What I do know is we'll be back after the match for a post-match recap about 5 to 15 minutes after the match ends, depending on how angry I am after the final whistle. That will dictate when the post-match shows. For everybody who watched today, thank you very much. We appreciate you very much. Please get over there, give it a like, give it a subscribe. If you haven't been to the YouTube channel, go ahead and give it a look. Give it a subscription. Sometime I'll actually hit the right button at the right time. But until then, this is the end of the pre-match show. Thank you for everyone who joined. We'll talk to you soon.